The group fix their eyes on the weapon as one man insists that nobody will leave until a solution has been reached. Believing the gun isn't real, another man grabs it and points it directly at his rival. The situation quickly escalates, and as someone attempts to take the weapon away, it suddenly fires. Everyone is left stunned and terrified. Has anyone been hit by the shot? Later on, a threatening associate warns that there is only 1 week to follow instructions, otherwise the consequences will be severe. After overhearing the conversation, an angry woman confronts him and demands to know exactly what is going on. Elsewhere, a young man crosses paths with a group of locals who step in to help when troublemakers start causing problems. Their intervention sends the troublemakers running. Back at the pub, 2 husbands grow increasingly concerned after hearing nothing from their wives and receiving no replies to their messages. Will someone finally give them the answers they need? Meanwhile, a young woman reveals that she has secured a place at a prestigious fashion college in London, but she's anxious about leaving her boyfriend behind. How will he respond when he learns the news? She also admits she still hasn't told her mother. In another storyline, a woman learns that suspicions are growing about a possible affair. Will she decide to tell the truth? At the same time, a man confides that he is considering proposing marriage. The big question is how she will react if he goes through with it. Later, a concerned wife tells her husband they need to have a serious conversation. Hiding his discomfort, he casually suggests they meet up later for a curry. Elsewhere, a young boy admits that he enjoys having a certain man around, and the feeling is warmly returned. Also, 2 fathers connect over the challenges they've recently faced while raising their sons. However, one of them is later shocked when he discovers just how much his child has been suffering. Overcome with anger, he blames the other parent for failing to uncover a woman's wrongdoing sooner, believing it could have prevented a great deal of pain. A worried father is left shaken as he anxiously waits for updates about his son. Struggling to process recent events, he directs his anger at Ben and Eva, insisting that Megan's court case is largely responsible for the difficulties his son is facing. Eva reassures Ben that Sam's involvement is no longer necessary and expresses confidence that Will handle the case successfully on his own. Meanwhile, Sally, Glenda, and Christina excitedly gather with their suitcases ready to go. Their anticipation grows when a message arrives confirming that everything is set. What surprise has been arranged for them? The following day, the women wake up at a hotel nursing sore heads after a heavy night. Attempts to contact Ronnie prove unsuccessful, while Christina quietly ignores an incoming call. Determined not to let anything spoil the trip, Glenda encourages everyone to switch off their phones and focus on enjoying themselves. Elsewhere, Maria catches sight of Gary and Sarah embracing. As Gary insists that all their messages need to be erased, Maria's suspicions deepen. Could there be more to their relationship than friendship? Later on, Maria confides in Fizz and Izzy, admitting that she fears Gary may be secretly involved with Sarah. In another development, Kevin remains resentful and informs Carl that a garage has requested a reference for him, but he has no intention of providing one. Shortly afterwards, Carl receives a phone call offering him another questionable job opportunity. Will he be tempted back into dangerous territory? Later, while watching a video of Ruby on Tyrone's phone, Kevin accidentally stumbles across footage showing Carl tampering with his car's brakes. Furious at the discovery, he immediately confronts Carl and reveals that he knows the truth. As raised voices attract attention, Tyrone and Ronnie rush over. Kevin is outraged when he discovers that both men already knew about Carl's actions. Ronnie urges everyone to move on for Debbie's sake, but Kevin refuses to let the matter rest. Grabbing a wrench, he moves towards Carl, who responds by producing a package containing a gun. Elsewhere in the Rovers, Sean refuses to serve Brody, Dylan, and Betsy because Brody is underage. The trio head to the precinct instead, but their outing takes a frightening turn when 3 intimidating youths approach and demand their drinks. Brody tells Dylan and Betsy to run while he dashes off in another direction, drawing the pursuers away from them. Coronation Street viewers are convinced they have cracked the mystery surrounding Theo's death following a dramatic flashback scene, although many believe Gary may not be the real killer after all. Wednesday night's episode delivered a major twist when a flashback appeared to place Gary at the scene, standing above Theo's lifeless body. As suspicion continues to mount around him, both the police investigation and growing doubts from those closest to him are putting him under intense pressure. The strain is clearly taking its toll, and only Sarah seems to understand the true reason behind his anxiety. Earlier in the day, Gary slipped away for a private conversation with Sarah at the factory. Their secretive behavior suggested they were both protecting sensitive information. During the discussion, Gary admitted he feared it was only a matter of time before the truth emerged and everything unraveled. Sarah attempted to reassure him, reminding him that he had faced difficult situations before and somehow managed to come through them. Despite her encouragement, Gary remained unconvinced and appeared overwhelmed by the situation. Elsewhere, Maria's suspicions grew after hearing about Gary's private meeting with Sarah. Already troubled by his unusual behavior, she began wondering whether there was more to their relationship than either of them was letting on. Later, at the pub, the conversation turned to Theo's death just as Gary arrived. His reaction immediately raised eyebrows, and it was obvious the topic made him uncomfortable. Before long, Kit followed him outside and once again accused him of being responsible. Convinced he had found his suspect, Kit insisted that the only thing missing was solid evidence. Gary dismissed the accusation and challenged him to prove it before walking away, though he looked far from relaxed. The episode ended with a shocking flashback sequence showing Gary on scaffolding, holding a mallet while looking down at Theo's body below, seemingly placing him at the center of the tragedy. Despite the apparent evidence against him, many fans are convinced there is still more to the story and believe another major twist is waiting to be revealed. A popular theory among viewers suggests that Sarah may have reached Theo before Gary and could actually be responsible for his death. According to this idea, Gary later arrived at the scene intending to help or protect her, only to discover what had already happened. He then allegedly became involved in concealing the truth. One fan shared their theory online, stating that Sarah was the person who killed Theo and Gary was simply covering for her. Another viewer suggested that Gary and Sarah both know who was responsible, but are protecting someone else. They even speculated that the culprit may not fully remember what happened, while others wondered if Todd could somehow be involved. The same fan also raised the possibility that Theo may have died during an act of self-defense. A third viewer argued that Gary would have little reason to protect Miles, but pointed out that he has repeatedly shown he would go to great lengths for Sarah. With so many theories circulating, the mystery remains unresolved. Did Sarah play a role in Theo's death, and is Gary helping to hide the truth? Or is there an even bigger surprise still to come? Coronation Street has finally revealed how Gary Windass is connected to Theo Silverton's death, but many viewers remain convinced that he is not actually responsible for the killing. The latest episode featured a dramatic flashback that confirmed Gary was present on the night Theo died. While the scene linked him directly to the incident, fans believe the evidence may be misleading and that another twist is still to come. Coronation Street continues to air on weekdays at 8:30 p.m. on ITV.